It's that time of the year again. Modern Warfare 3's time is up, and most of us just want to play the new Call of Duty game. But for some reason, I've gone back to Modern Warfare 3 to experience Sledgehammer's complete product. Is it still ravaged by skill-based matchmaking? Is it still painful to play? Or is it better than it was when it released? Well, grab some popcorn and say goodbye to Modern Warfare 3 with me. Modern Warfare 3's biggest controversy on release surrounded around the decision to not have any new maps, but instead to go for 16 maps from the original Modern Warfare 2. As I said in my launch review, these maps play well in this game as expected, with some getting better and some getting worse on this new engine. But to start this review, I want to look more at the DLC maps, as that's where we really got the new content. Right out of the gate here, and I'll give a huge props to Sledgehammer. This game didn't deserve to be a full game, but Activision forced it out. But over the last year, Sledgehammer games have really tried to make it their own. The maps that have been added are all distinctly different, and are mostly small to medium sized maps, as the community's wanted. Bright colours have really been utilised to make these maps stand out, but also gameplay wise, many of them are a blast to play. Rio is the best map they've made here. The setting reminds me so much of the original Modern Warfare 2, and the original Favela, but the layout is more akin to that of a Black Ops map, with 3 lanes and a congested middle area where the B flag is. There's slight verticality and powerful sightlines dotted about, so experienced players can really utilise that. And the map layout really allows any weapon to be successful. If this map were a launch map, or in a more revered game, I seriously think it would be looked at in a high regard. And I have to tip my hat to them for making maps like this. As there's others as well. There's maps like Departures, which is similar to Terminal, maps like Vista, which is also stunning. I think Grow House is another really fun map, and it was one that I thoroughly enjoyed playing on when it first came out. And then there's some good small maps as well, like Yard. Stash House was another one that was fun to play. And I'm showing on screen now some of the other ones. They've all got unique settings, which is what I've wanted from a Call of Duty game for so long, as it feels like, especially in the Modern Warfare games recently, they haven't utilised the engine to its full potential, and the maps they've made here are stunning. They even began to give us map variants and cell-shaded variants, which is great because it's the little things that show that extra bit of passion from Sledgehammer. Imagine if it the other way around, with the best of the DLC maps as the launch maps, and then sprinkled throughout the post-launch support, they could have given us updates on particular Call of Duty games. Like there could have been one on the original Modern Warfare 2 or the original Modern Warfare 3, or maybe even one about ghosts. I remember they had one season that was slightly based around Advanced Warfare, where they brought in some Advanced Warfare guns like the Bal 27 and the Moors. And I feel like this is the one game where all the boundaries are off in terms of creativity. People sort of accept this game as a DLC of sorts, and I think treating it as such with wacky updates, like a full Advanced Warfare themed DLC, really could have given this game something, as it's lacking with its own identity anyway. In fact, identity is a word I want to focus on more, as it really is the root cause of all the issues of this multiplayer. I mentioned it not having its own launch maps, and that already knocked it down a peg, but every aspect of this game feels a bit soulless, and there's a very cheap feel when you get playing this game. Firstly, since the very start of the game, you've been able to use all these crazy skins on your weapon and character. Gone are the days of playing as soldiers who fit their surroundings, as now from launch until the end of the game, you'll see people running around as Lionel Messi, Cody Rhodes, and whatever this thing is. It's mentally draining as you play on these already bright maps and see these overly bright skins. Pairs with the biggest issue the game has, forcing people into the small map playlist. With no prestige mode or interesting challenges to complete, the only long-term progression is the mastery camos. Which, fair play, they do look nice and are easier to unlock in this game, but it's so tiresome as that being the only thing to do. So, to do this fast and to keep your sanity, most people will head into the small map playlist and play these meat grinder maps over and over again until they can't play anymore. Sledgehammer released a lot of these small maps, which is better than just playing on shipment, but at their core, these maps are all the same really. Most have no flow and are just a constant bombardment of enemy players that you mindlessly kill time and again just to get the challenges done. In the era of low attention spans, this has to be the ultimate brain rot. And unfortunately, this is the path we've gone down, with the game not having enough content and the players demanding more small maps, and not playing on the typical medium and large maps we used to see. This means that many of the maps that Sledgehammer released, like Tanked or Greece, which are actually decent maps, aren't played or appreciated like they should be, because they don't unlock camos fast enough, and again, they show a clear lack of identity for Modern Warfare 3. I mean, these small maps are just not going to be remembered in 5 years' time. This links to a wider issue that one day I might make a full video about, but it links to this whole idea that in the future, what are going to be the legacy maps that they make remasters of? Take away the ones we already get, as eventually they'll be overused, and people aren't going to want to see them every year. So what are we really left with? None of these maps, or any of the content for that matter, is really iconic, or good enough to be held in a high status. But instead, the whole experience will just be a blur. And by the time the next Modern Warfare rolls around, we'll forget about half this stuff. And I guess I've avoided speaking about it for long enough now. And quite frankly, I can't be bothered to speak about it again. But, given its prevalence, and how controversial it's been in this year of Call of Duty again, I have to once again give the middle finger to skill-based matchmaking. Even if you try to enjoy this game as a normal Call of Duty, after a few matches, you'd be struggling to find the fun again, because skill-based matchmaking is going to stomp you into the ground. But it really is a testament to how apathetic I feel towards Modern Warfare 3, that in reality, I don't even pay attention to SBMM anymore, as most of the time, I'm running blindly into the action, seeing bright, colourful microtransaction messes everywhere, or I'm too busy wasting time going for camos that I don't even care about how I do in a match. So where do I really stand, now that we've reached the end of Modern Warfare 3? Well, my opinion of the franchise's direction has largely stayed the same. Every year, there are good ideas, and fan favourite features are brought back. But at the same time, there are bad ideas, and fan favourite features taken away. Countless controversies, and Activision turning a blind eye to the community's concerns. Every development team has the odds stacked against them, with unrealistic expectations from Activision and a lack of a solid development time. This is why the Call of Duty franchise has instead become a platform to sell microtransactions. And around every corner, the game is trying to retain casual players so they can spend as much money on the game as possible. It's for these reasons, and the fact this game is a glorified DLC, that I'd give it a final score of 48 out of 100. If you remove everything else from the game, and just focus on the gameplay, Modern Warfare 3 can be good. But unfortunately, this game is an inconceivable, incomprehensible mess that has just about finished the hype for Modern Warfare games. It lacks character, it lacks identity, and it lacks respect for the player that shows at this point, Call of Duty's decline might be greater than we ever could have imagined. Now it's time you let me know your thoughts though. Did you enjoy Modern Warfare 3 and look past the fact it's a DLC? Or did you hate everything about it? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you're part of the 97% of people who aren't subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button and join me on the journey to 1,000 subscribers. But I've been Ranger, and this has been my final review of Modern Warfare 3 2023.